Okay, well into the workout now. Working up to something decently heavy. My last heavy session, which was probably about 10 days ago, I managed to hit 260. You guys know who follow me regularly. I'm coming back from an elbow injury, trying to get back up to some pretty big weights. So I was pleased a couple of weeks ago, or 10 days ago, whatever it was, I managed to hit 260 for a single. So the goal today is to be able to hit somewhere around that, maybe a little more. I'm not going to set it in stone, but so far warm-ups have been going very well. I just hit 200 kilos for a single. So I went up 60 kilos, 100 kilos, 140, 180, 200. I'm going to get 220. And weirdly, when I get to 220, depending how it moves, and I did this last time, because I'm approaching maximal weights, if I was to do 240, sometimes that can take the edge off my strength. So I'm going to see how it feels in my hand. I may do 240 or I may go to 260. I'm just going to see how it goes. But anyway, I'm talking a lot. I'm going to go and train.
This is just a sort of warning. Peeps are poor and peeps are mourning. Time has come to stop ignoring. Don't let me down on this. This is just a sort of warning. Peeps are poor and peeps are mourning.
I move really nicely. I haven't watched the video, but I could tell it moved nicely. It moved really nicely. I forgot to say, I've thrown some elbow wraps as well, and that made a big difference. To be fair, they do give you a bit of spring. I'm not a competitive bench presser. I'm just a big geezer in my back garden. So I have no qualms about using elbow wraps and all that kind of stuff. You know, keeps you protected, gives you a bit of spring, and so I'll take it. So I'm gonna go straight to 260. Well, it's weird when you're training, it's not too bad, but when you kind of stand here like I am at the moment and just looking at that bar over there, it looks kind of intimidating, but you know, training isn't always for the faint-hearted.
Time has come to stop ignoring. Don't let me down on this. Time has come to stop ignoring. Don't let me down on this. This is just a sort of warning. Peeps are poor and peeps are mourning. Time has come to stop ignoring. Don't let me down on this.
Yeah, really good, really good, really good, really good. Felt strong. I'm going to try 270. The 260 had a decent enough pause. I think if I'd have gone touch and go, I could have probably got maybe a triple out of that. So I'm going to try 270. What's the worst that can happen? hands now. It moved. I'm going to pretend it was the prettiest. I watched the video. It moved moderately fast, but that was it. That was definitely it. It felt like I put a plate on. I can't believe how much heavier it felt. I really can't. 260. I'm not going to say it felt comfortable. 260 never feels comfortable, but 260 felt okay. So I thought 270 would have been not an easy lift, but I felt pretty confident with it. But as I got it in my hands and lowered it down, I was like, oh gosh. But you know what? I'm doing myself down. It was 270 kilos. I'm 46 years of age, and I'm training in my back garden, and I'm coming back from an injury. So I'm being pretty hard on myself. So I need to stop that. I'm going to call it a day. I was going to do some more volume work there, but that I can feel if I did much more at the moment, it wouldn't go well. That felt like if I put another kilo on there, I would have popped something. It felt like a real grind. I can feel my joints. I can feel my hands. I've got pins and needles in both hands at the moment. Hopefully that's just the wrist straps. I'm not having a heart attack or anything. That wouldn't be cool. But yeah, I'm just going to go. I'm going to leave the benching alone now. I'm going to do a few side raises and a few tricep pushdowns. I'll just set up my cables and then that'll be me done. Yeah. Oh, well, like I said, I was going to do some volume work, get a bit of incline in, but these pins and needles I'm having in my hands probably aren't a good sign. Why do we do this to ourselves? Because we love it. That's what we have to keep on telling ourselves. But yeah, it's been a long road back. To get back up to those maximal poundages. Those of you who have been with me for a while, you may or may not have seen me hit 302. Gosh, when was that? Sometime in 2024, beginning of 2024. I don't even know. I think it's on my channel. It's certainly on my Instagram somewhere. And I hit 300 around this time last year. I then obviously had to back off. Started building up at the beginning of the year back again. I hit 290 in January and then had a pec injury. I'd torn my pec many years ago and I basically tore some of the scar tissue in that, which set me back for about 3 months, which was pretty bad, 3-4 months. Then I started to have a comeback, managed to get back up to 280. And then after that, I had this gradual bout of tendonitis that got to a point where I could barely straighten my arm or do anything with it. And so I'm just coming back after suffering with that for another about 3 months or so. So it's been a pretty rough year for the old bench press. So to get back up to 270, I'm pretty cool with that. I am pretty cool with that. But I also have to be smart now. I can see at the moment that's going to be my limit. I don't plan to go past that anytime soon. I might revisit some heavy stuff in a couple of months' time or something. But I think I'm going to go back to a bit of... I'll still move weight, of course, but rather than trying to hit that higher 200, so I'll stick around that kind of 200, 220, 180, 160, 100, whatever, and just get a bit of lighter stuff, a bit more volume for a few weeks, and just make sure my body can go. Bodybuilding sessions work. You guys know, if you're with me for a while, I essentially follow 3 programs or 3 ways of training, and I do this for my 3 movements. So I have a push movement, I have a hinge movement, so it's based around the deadlift, and I have my squat pattern movements. And then within those, I have 3 separate workouts. I have one where it's like a heavy day like today, where I work up to a heavy set of 5, a heavy triple, heavy double, or a heavy single, and do a little bit of accessory work. I then have a bodybuilding session where I do very high volume. Everything is minimum of 10 reps, anywhere up to about 30 reps. I do supersets, drop sets, pre-exhausting, post-exhausting, and every kind of intensity technique you can imagine. And I do, generally speaking, a tremendous amount of reps, don't rest very long. And then my third workout is what I call a support workout. So for something like the bench press, I would choose 2 to 3 exercises that I find are pretty beneficial for the bench press. And I apply that idea, the same concept, to all 3 movement patterns, the squat, the hinge, and the bench press. I know I sound a bit pretentious when I say hinge, I mean the deadlift. It does sound a bit pretentious. I'm dipping into the exercise scientist realm now, aren't I? Anyway, like I said, I'm going to go and carry on, do a few side raises and push downs. I'm not going to film that, it's kind of boring. It's going to be probably about 5 sets of side raises, 15-ish reps, probably use about the 17 kilo dumbbells. And then I'm going to set up my cable system and do some cable push downs, probably of about 50 kilos, something like that. Anyway, don't forget to like, comments, share, subscribe, hit notifications, all that stuff. Trying to get to 1,000 subs. It's been a long road. I just can't get there at the moment. I really can't. YouTube hates me, but whatever. Robbie, thank you for the encouragement. I know Happy Limpet, thank you for the encouragement. And all my regular guys, Mohammed, and all the rest of you, thank you very much for the encouragement. Username unknown, Jubei, all you guys who comment regularly, I do appreciate it. I am going to keep on grinding away. It just turns into a bit of a slog sometimes, because you feel like you're banging your head against this brick wall, because I don't gossip and because I don't chat about other people. I just kind of get on and lift. And I'm old and I don't show off a lot of flesh, and I don't use fancy editing, and unfortunately that's where YouTube is nowadays. They don't like old guys like me who just kind of lift stuff. Anyway, I'm going to stop being bitter. You guys take care, have a good week, train hard, I'll speak to you soon.